into another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for tuning back in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Now, today I want to talk about 2021 opponents for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, keep in mind, this is not the schedule at all. The schedule is going to be released later on in the 2021 year. Once I get that information, I will definitely go ahead and release it to you guys. These are going to be our opponents for the 2021 season. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Roll that intro. Welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to talk about our 2021 opponents for the 2021 season for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't want to talk about 2020 anymore. It's already out of my mind. We're looking forward here. So first things first, this list came out yesterday. So if you haven't seen it yet already, I think it's available on Twitter, as well as even if you Google it, you're able to pretty much find the list out there. But I wanted to make a video about it just to kind of take a look at the list and see like how the Cardinals will stack up. First off, we're going to start off with the home opponents, the people that are going to come into State Farm Stadium. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it here, guys. Obviously, we're going to have the LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the 49ers. Now, I expect the 49ers to be better next year. Whatever they do with their quarterback situation, I don't think it's going to be Garoppolo. I do think they're going to be better next year or this coming year compared to what it was last year in the 2020 season. So look out for the 49ers to definitely make a bounce back season. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers, man. We're going to have Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones in State Farm Stadium. That's tough. That's absolutely tough. After that is going to be the Vikings. Vikings is going to be another team that's going to come here to State Farm Stadium. And let's be honest here, man. Dalvin Cook is no joke. I'm not really sold on Kirk Cousins, to be 100% honest with you. But Adam Thielen is awesome. Their defense is actually pretty good as well. But, man, Dalvin Cook is he's going to cook once he gets over here. That's for sure. That's going to be tough as well. And also Houston Texans. I know Houston Texans, especially this last offseason, everybody was making fun of them with the highway robbery and all that different stuff with DeAndre Hopkins trade. But let's be honest, man, Deshaun Watson is a hungry quarterback. He's trying to do everything he possibly can to elevate that team up there. And that team can score points up and down. So that's going to be another tough opponent for the Arizona Cardinals. Next up, we have the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. This is going to be an exciting, a pretty cool matchup here for the Arizona Cardinals. I think their defense is very, very good. I have no faith in Phillip Rivers. I think they just barely missed going into the playoffs, just kind of like the way the standings happen and all that different stuff. But their defense is really good, especially with their, I believe, second year coming into his third year now. Leonard, I believe his name is, I believe he's like their linebacker. Really awesome talent that they ended up getting there. So their defense is really good. That's going to be a tough matchup as well for the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely tough. And last but not least, it's going to be the Carolina Panthers. We never beat the Carolina Panthers. It hasn't happened for the past 5+ years. This is going to be super tough for the Arizona Cardinals to come out with a win, and especially it's a home. So, man, looking at this list, guys, this is really, really tough. I'm glad that we obviously have our 3 divisional rivals because it's familiarity. You know, we see them a lot. We see the Green Bay Packers a lot as well, especially in the playoffs. Not really during like this regular season, but playoffs is when we see them a lot. We do have usually success against them, but it's any given Sunday is the way I like to think of it. But looking at that home, team opponent list, that's pretty tough, man. That's definitely pretty tough. But let's go ahead and look at the away list here. Obviously, we're going to have our LA Rams, Seattle Seahawks, and the 49ers. We're not going to talk about them. Let's just kind of move on from there. So if we take a look at the next away team that's on the list, it's going to be the Detroit Lions, which is a very familiar team that we play a lot. The past couple years, it seems like they've had our number. But it's really up to the Arizona Cardinals to kind of bounce back here. So the Detroit Lions is another team that is going to be an away team for the Arizona Cardinals to go ahead and visit next year. Next, we have the Bears, the Chicago Bears. They have an awesome defense. Now, regardless of what happens with Mitch Trubisky this playoffs, I think that is going to be their quarterback at least for next year. He took them to the playoffs. They did everything they possibly can to get it to the playoffs. So I think we might see Mitch Trubisky versus Kyler Murray. Now, one thing about that Bears team, their defense is really good, especially with Khalil Mack on the edge. But I'm not really sold so much on Trubisky, but we can be surprised. They can go for a deep run this coming playoff, so we'll see exactly what happens there. Next on the list is going to be the Tennessee Titans. Oh my goodness, we're getting smoked by these big-bodied running backs, man. King Henry that's gonna be a tough matchup too, man. Their offense really thrives on Henry. in the backfield. Obviously, Tannehill does his play actions, and then they have A.J. Brown to go ahead and catch those bootlegs or those play action passes or even those deep passes. He's very good in doing that sort of sense, but Tennessee Titans are another team that we need to look out for, especially because of Derrick Henry back there. And after that, we're going to have the Jaguars. This is going to be a pretty interesting one. Obviously, it's going to be an away one. If Trevor Lawrence does decide to come out of college, most likely he's going to go to the Jaguars because they do have the first overall pick. Trevor Lawrence hasn't said yet that he's going to be leaving Clemson. We're still all kind of waiting, but I think he is the overall solid #1 overall pick for the Jaguars if he does decide to come out. So that would be kind of cool, seeing Trevor Lawrence versus Kyler Murray. That's definitely something to watch for sure. The last team on the away list is going to be none other than the Dallas Cowboys. This last year, we pretty much had our way with them. But let's be honest, guys, they didn't have Dak Prescott, and it seemed like their team wasn't quite clicking yet. I think towards the end of the season, they're kind of stepping in the right direction. Who knows if they're going to have Dak Prescott, if they're going to draft a new young quarterback. Who knows what that whole situation is. They might franchise tag him again or give him that long-term deal that he actually wants, but we'll see, man. We'll definitely see what happens with this Dallas Cowboys team, but overall, looking at these lists right now, I can see 5 playoff teams already on this list, which is absolutely insane. It's going to be the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, the Green Bay Packers, Bears, and the Titans. Now, 5 playoff teams from this last 2020 season here. That's going to be super tough for the Arizona Cardinals to definitely overcome it. Now, I think we're going to be still rolling with Cliff Kingsbury. There's no word that he's going to get fired or let go or anything like that. So that's going to be our head coach. I'm assuming Vance Joseph is still going to keep his job too. So I guess that's going to be our coaching staff from here on out. That's going to be a tough task to ask for this schedule. This schedule is not easy. We had a really easy schedule this last season. Compared to what we're in store for, this is going to be a tough season. I'm really excited to see what we do in the free agency and the draft and how we address all the needs that we possibly need on this Cardinal team. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this is an easier schedule or a harder schedule? Put all that stuff on the comments below, guys. I personally think this is a much harder schedule than we had this last year, guys. So that's all I got for this episode, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new, please consider subscribing to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out. Thank you.